All right, everyone, welcome to Deep Dives with Dogs. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of the Spanish Empire. Spanish Empire being one of the most powerful at one point and one of the largest empires in human history. It had a very, very large and quick growth. The Spanish they get obviously a lot of their power comes from two things. It was actually the Spanish two great things coalesced at the same time that allowed them to grow. One is the forming of Spain itself. You got to remember a lot of the Iberian Peninsula for most of history has been different kingdoms. You have Castile, Aragon, for instance, Portugal, the Iberian Peninsula is that, but you have a few others. But Castile and Aragon are the ones of most renown and power. But they will form together after a political marriage, and that will form Spain. Because of that, it brings Spain into one unified nation, and they want greater ambition. A lot of Europe sees Spain as, it's the new kid, but the new kid has a lot of potential, And so the Spanish will try in many ways to secure their power. One, actually, interestingly enough, is a political marriage with England. King Henry VIII, his brother, was meant to marry Catherine of Aragon, but he dies, and then actually Henry VIII marries her, funnily enough. So, securing an alliance with Spain. But another, obviously, great, important decision is that the king and queen will fund the expeditions of one Christopher Columbus. Obviously, Christopher Columbus, with their funds and with their help, will discover the New World, discover the Americas, and with that, the Spanish will then start to conquer the New World. Obviously, there are things that are required for them to do that, but they kind of achieve them. You have, obviously, the destruction of the Aztecs, destruction of the Mayans, or what's left of the Mayans, and much, much more, of course. And the Spanish will gain lots of wealth and power from the New World, new trade, new gold, and this will allow Spain to build a massive naval armada. One, because they need to control their new colonies, and so you need a big navy if you were to have a strong hold on colonies, but also they are able to create a very powerful military in general. And Spanish, for a short period of time there, will be very, very powerful. However, not all power lasts forever. The Spanish are one that their power really doesn't last all that long. They will go to war with England in 1588, a little bit, because of a few reasons. One, the treatment of Catherine of Aragon. That's one big reason. The other is the destruction of Catholicism in England. The Spanish are very Catholic, very, very Catholic. Probably besides Italy, one of the most Catholic nations at this time. And so they don't really take too kindly to England's war, more or less, against Catholicism. This will lead to a massive naval armada of about 130 ships that will attack the English and then be subsequently defeated by the English, which is quite the big deal. That armada being defeated and suffering heavy losses will very much diminish the power of the Spanish. And if the Spanish can't even defeat the British, who at this time are weaker than them, then how are they supposed to hold on to anything? and the great pinnacle of Spanish power starts to quickly deteriorate. They will hold on to some things for a while, but honestly, the getting smaller is probably what helps them survive for so long. And you know, they'll still throw their jabs in at the English and to show that they are very powerful. One, helping the Americans during the American Revolutionary War. It's a good example of that. But the Spanish will not once again ever retain or regain their pinnacle that they once had. It's not crazy to see why. You know, it's just, I'm just going to be honest. It's really not all that easy to hold on to the things that they had. And it's a surprise they even held on to it as long as they did. But with that, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys like the video, leave a like. If you have any ways you can improve on these videos, leave a comment down below. I just appreciate your feedback. And as always, subscribe. It really does help out the channel. But now you know.